Now, I have been able to playtest Rogue Company's new huge update, and that includes having some playtime with the next new Rogue coming to Rogue Company. Now, after playing against Sigrid and playing as Sigrid, I think we should all take the right precautions and figure out exactly how to counter this new Rogue, because she has the potential to be the most powerful Rogue in the game, and she might become a huge dominating force in both Strikeout and Ranked. Now, before we get into all of that, do not forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell, because I'm your #1 channel for all high quality Rogue Company content. Let's get into it. Now look, I know for a fact that we all got a little bit nervous when they announced that their next new Rogue will be having a ballistic shield, because I damn near had some Vietnam flashbacks of me getting my ass beat the fuck up by Blitz and Monty in Season 1 of Rainbow Six Siege. Dog, those were some hard times, I ain't gonna lie to you. So if you're anything like me, do not worry, because today I'm going to tell you the best ways to counter that shield after actually playing with this new update. Now let's get the obvious out of the way. So look, if you can play smart, you can get the edge over Sigrid and completely nullify her ability just by simply getting behind her, because her shield doesn't cover the back of her forehead, now does it? The answer to that is no, it does not cover the back of her fucking forehead. And what the fuck is the back of a forehead? Is there a back of a forehead? I'm gonna shut up and get on. I'm gonna get on with the video, don't worry about it. So yes, a great way to counter this new Rogue would be to outplay her by getting behind her and lighting her ass up, because her shield, as stated in the patch notes, only blocks incoming damage from the front, definitely not from behind. Now, if you want to go with this kind of sneaky approach, the best Rogue for the job would be none other than Lancer, due to her ability that increases her speed and silences her footsteps. But hey, let me know what Rogue you would use to sneak around to take out Sigrid. Now look, if Lancer isn't your cup of tea, don't worry. Let's move on to some other tactics that I found in my playthrough to be effective at taking out Sigrid. Now, another possible way to get the upper hand on Sigrid is to use explosives, but being that her shield blocks all incoming damage from the front, using explosives on Sigrid may not be as easy as you think. But if you get good at it, oh boy, will you Thanos snap her ass right out of a game. Let me explain. Now, who are the rogues that instantly pop in your head when you think of explosives? I'll give you a second. That second's over. Yeah, I'm talking about Dima with his grenade launcher and Ronin with her ballistic knife. Now, in my playthrough, I found that both of these rogues proved to be effective in using their explosive abilities to take out Sigrid. But to become effective, you really have to play smart and think about the placement of those explosives. Because if you don't, she's going to be doing the two-step all over your dead body every goddamn round. I'm telling you right now, dog, I don't want to see you get embarrassed. Just listen up. So for Ronin, as an example, you obviously can't just throw your ballistic knife directly at Sigrid's shield, because she would deflect all that incoming damage from the front. So to get around this little issue, I found myself using a ballistic knife to counter Sigrid primarily by throwing it behind her and letting her walk into it with her back face towards the explosion, or by throwing it directly behind her and quickly shooting it to get that explosion to happen even faster. Now let's move on to how to effectively use Dima to counter Sigrid. Then we're gonna get into some gadgets that are like Sigrid's kryptonite, and some honorable mentions for rogues that I think that can also be effective at taking out this new Rogue. So using Dima's ability to counter Sigrid is actually pretty difficult, but if you practice with using that grenade launcher, or if you already have a lot of experience, you'll definitely be able to become a problem to that enemy Sigrid. Trust me on that one. Now, the placement of Dima's explosives are extremely important due to the amount of spread that happens after you launch your grenades. Now, I found the most effective way to take out Sigrid with Dima's grenade launcher is not to just shoot directly at her. That only works like 2% of the time. Now, the best way to use that grenade launcher to take out Sigrid is basically the same way you would use it regularly on every other enemy. Just when facing Sigrid, you have to pay a little bit more attention to the placement of those grenades. Let me explain why. So first of all, don't try to shoot all the grenades behind her. That hardly ever works unless you're in a really small area and you cornered her. Besides that, don't even fucking try, because you're just gonna fucking die. I'm just letting you know right now. The best way I found to take out Sigrid consistently with Dima's grenade launcher is to place a grenade to where all the split off grenades spread all around her. That way she's still getting hit from behind, and if she tries to move because of that spread of the grenade, she's still going to end up getting hit or even completely dying. Now look, keep in mind using Dima to take out Sigrid does take some practice, so if you don't get it at first, don't worry, just keep practicing. It just takes a little wax on, wax off. You'll get it eventually, trust me. Now hold on, active abilities aren't the only thing that can counter Sigrid. Let's say you hate using Dima, Ronin, or even Lancer. Don't worry, because there are a lot of explosive gadgets that work just as well. And by explosive gadgets, I'm talking C4s, frag grenades, potentially claymores, definitely Semtech grenades, and also EMPs if you count them as explosives. So all these gadgets were great to take out Sigrid. Your effectiveness really comes down to your placement of those explosives, just like Dima and Ronin. I'm telling you right now, when it comes to explosives, it's all about the placement. Now, we're not done just yet, because I have some other possible rogues that have abilities that can be effective at countering Sigrid that you may want to consider if you're still not sure who you want to use just yet. Now, let's start off with Glitch. Now, Glitch's ability is perfect for countering Sigrid because, well, he's a walking EMP, and if he times his hack perfectly on Sigrid, she can't even use her ability, period. Now, if you're a Glitch main, you're gonna have a hell of a lot of fun fighting this new rogue because you're gonna be stopping her from rushing or pushing sight all day long. And if you wanna start using Glitch, now's the time. Now, another honorable mention is Scorch. Now, I'm not a big fan of Scorch, however, with Scorch's ability that increases the damage of her bullets, you can become a threat to Sigrid if you're able to hit the spots on her body that aren't covered by her shield. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I would kind of put Scorch at the lower end of the most effective rogues to counter Sigrid, however, I can definitely see her still becoming a threat. It's just not someone that I personally would use over all the other rogues. She's kind of like, C tier for me. Now that is it for today's video. I hope you really enjoyed, so don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell because I'm your #1 channel for all high quality rogue comedy content. Peace.